Hi, everyone. I'm your host, Charlene Shirk. Welcome to Digital Champions, where we speak to some of the most innovative thinkers in the digital space. And joining us today from Greenville, South Carolina, is Ryan Alford with Radical. Ryan, thanks so much for joining us today on Digital Champions.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me, Charlene.
I love the name Radical. So what are you doing over there that's so radical?
Hey, big ideas, big thinking. We're a digital ad agency first and foremost, but, we're pushing the envelope and, 22 years in the ad business and then started my own thing 5 years ago. So one of the fastest growing digital agencies in the Southeast.
And what are you doing that's setting yourself apart? I noticed when I looked over some of the notes that you provided for us, people say B2B, B2C, you say B2H. Walk us through that, because I think that's pretty radical approach.
Yeah, it's business to human. Like, at the end of the day, until bots truly take over, I know sometimes we think they are already, but till AI is truly taken over, at the other end of that message or that medium is a human. And in today's world, things that are authentic break through and gain engagement. And I think with COVID and things that have happened, even especially, people are really craving that human dynamic. And there's a way to do that both with ideas and messaging. And we kind of bring that to the table for both our B2B and B2C clients.
Talk to me a little bit about what you mean by performance marketing killed the radio star, because everybody makes it about the offer and not about the idea.
Yeah, I think we're going to see a return to that. Really what it's about and what we preach at Radical is about the idea and not the offer. And what that means is, digital marketing the last 10 years has really trained clients and brands that they've got to be heavily data-centric and heavy offer-centric. And look, we're all about using data. We're a digital agency. But at the end of the day, the creative, the idea, the how do we want people to think, feel, and act are what matters most. And it's not always about a sale that day because everyone's not in buying mode every moment. And so branding has kind of lost its appeal in marketing in some ways because people want to make the sale immediately, but you don't always have buyers in market. So you have to treat the different phases of the purchase cycle differently. And I think that starts with big ideas that really drive those key initiatives.
And Ryan, it's great to have a big idea, and it's great to be authentic and have this great message and have this awesome campaign that either makes you laugh, cry, or brings some emotion out of you, right? Even if today's not the day you're going to hit the call to action button. But how do you make sure, what's your secret sauce to making sure that that gets seen, that it gets in front of the eyeballs it needs to be, especially now with, all of these limitations on privacy and everybody being able to opt out? So how have you pivoted or adjusted your marketing ideas to make sure that they get seen? You can have a great campaign, but if nobody sees it, it's a tree that falls in the woods.
Yep. Well, there's a couple things. One, if your organic marketing is really what it needs to be, and what I mean by that is if you give reason to show people to show up, if you aren't always selling, then they will show up. And, you look at brands like Nike and REI and others that have this cachet, it's because they have built community. And you've got to build community in today's world. And it sounds like, oh, can a brand really build community? People just want to do them. They don't trust them. But that's just not true. There's a lot of proof of that. And I think, at the end of the day, I do think there's kind of this return. I think there's still, as being a digital agency and data first, there's still power in some of the more traditional branding mediums, whether that's digital out of home or even the TV ad, if it's now connected TV. You can reach mass audiences where you need to from an ad standpoint, but at the end of the day, your organic social media and where you're really kind of interrupting the flow of entertainment, you need to be really authentic and you need to really bring either education or entertainment.
And how would you balance that combination? Would you say when you're talking to a client, how much of investment should be in that organic side and how much of an investment should be in that digital targeted, I'm going to go find that customer for you and we're going to pay to make sure that those eyeballs are on that ad?
Every client's unique, but I like 60-40. 60% branding, creating mental availability when someone's ready to buy. That's emotional, that's education, that's how they think and feel. 40% at the lower end of the funnel in sales activation. And so every client can be a little different. There might be skews of that one way or another, but I really start there as a baseline.
And before I let you go, we got about 30 seconds left. I always like to ask our guests, if I cornered you at a cocktail party, Ryan, and I said, what do you do? And you told me, and I'm like, whoa, what's your best tip that you can give me today that I can put into play tomorrow? What would that be?
Well, at the end of the day, I think it's all about iteration today. Everybody wants one idea, but speed and iteration are what drive the day. And so I would, everyone thinks, well, social media is changing all these things, but the digital world changes a lot, but you've got to be ready to adapt. And that really comes with iteration and speed. And I think perfection really is the killer of speed and iteration. And we're kind of past this world of perfect, highly produced content and more of this natural, authentic self. And I think people have to really embrace that. Even larger brands are starting to see that with influencer marketing, thing like that. But influencer marketing is interesting. And social media has made today's world where it's not just superstars that can have influence on the purchase cycle.
Well, that's good to know, Ryan. Thank you so much. I really appreciate the opportunity to speak with you and your insight. And thanks for taking the time today to be on Digital Champions.
Thanks, Charlene. Appreciate being here.
Oh, we appreciate you. And if you'd like to learn more about what they're doing over there at Radical, you can start by heading over to dailyadbrief.com. I'm your host, Charlene Shirk. Thank you so much for joining us for this episode of Digital Champions, and we look forward to learning something new with you next time.
Simplify presents Addressable CTV, combining the power of TV with the targeting and attribution of digital. Simplify's Addressable CTV delivers massive reach with the ability to scale without sacrificing precision. TV buyers can generate incremental reach with household-level targeting, frequency controls, reporting, and insights. To learn more about Simplify's Addressable CTV and what it can do for your clients, visit simply.fi.